going on, everybody? It's your boys from the Curtain Call podcast, and we are ready to do this show. But we always got to start like we start. I'm your boy, the Spanish Fly, and always with me, my number one tag team partner, Nacho. Tell him what's up, man.
What's up, everybody? Wrestlemania is right around the corner. I hope you all are as excited as we are because let me just tell you, I am on the edge of my seat. Every day I get more and more excited. I just cannot believe that it's already time for WrestleMania, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yes. It is almost time. I'm excited. This is the best time of year for us wrestling fans when it's WrestleMania week. Oh my goodness, and all the things that's going on. You know, Raw was a great Raw.
Yeah.
NXT was great NXT.
Yeah.
Hey, the new show WWE Speed was amazing. It was something different.
Yeah.
I liked it. I really did like it. And everything is great right now. As a wrestling fan, all excited. Tomorrow, you know what it is, man. Nacho, tomorrow's SmackDown, baby. Tomorrow, the festivities begin with SmackDown. Then we got the Hall of Fame. Then we have NXT on Saturday and night number one. Man, I'm excited, Nacho. I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super excited, brother.
I can feel it. I'll be amazed if we can come out of this weekend not being sick of wrestling, because we have some like 4 or 5 days in a row just wrestling.
I love it.
I'm just excited. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to be in the moment. I'm excited to just live out these 2 nights and all the other
yes,
stuff.
Sir. Yes, sir. And tonight's episode is going to be our predictions from night 1 and night number 2. And remember, we are going live immediately after night number 1. We're going to recap WrestleMania for night number 1. We're going to re-give our predictions. We might have to change up a prediction or two. Who knows? But we're going to try to stick to our predictions. We're going to recap night number 1. We're going to go over our predictions for night number 2. And after night number 2, we're doing it right again. We're going in live. So you guys got to make sure you subscribe to us. Click on that notification bell so you can keep updated with everything that's going on. But before all that, Nacho, you know what time it is, right?
It's time for some trivia.
Here we go. This day in wrestling history. And we're going to go back to 1993. Nacho, what do you think about that?
I was not alive at the time. Say that. But it sounds like a pretty cool year, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe you might know this. In 1993, WrestleMania took place in Caesars Palace Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. For the first time, WrestleMania took place outdoors. It was outdoors. And in there, we had matches like Tatanka defeating Shawn Michaels. Luna Vachon made her debut in the corner of Shawn Michaels. We had the Steiner brothers. Rick and Scott Steiner defeated the Head Shrinkers, which is Fatu and Samu, bloodline members. We even had Doink the Clown there. Razor Ramon defeated Bob Backlund. Money Incorporated, which was Ted DiBiase and IRS. They retained the belts by feeding the Mega Maniacs, which was Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Bar Beefcake. Lex Luger defeated Mr. Perfect. The Undertaker fought the Giant Gonzalez, which is one of the worst WrestleMania matches of the Undertaker's career, in my opinion, but it was no knock on the Undertaker. And then we had the main event was, for that time, the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, which was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. And Yokozuna won the belt. But there was controversy coming out of that. Do you know why, Nacho?
Was that the match that Bret Hart was cheated?
It was the
No,
match
that was in Montreal.
Yeah, that was Montreal Screwjob, but he was cheated. Mr. Fuji threw some of that dust in his eyes. But after the match, something happened. What's that? Bret Hart?
Yep.
He got them all, I'm telling you.
What a coincidence.
After that match, that Yokozuna wins the match, wins the WWF Championship. Something happened. A lot of fans were upset about it. Myself, as a teenager and a fan of this person, I was all for it. But there was a lot of fans that were upset. Do you know what it was?
I don't think I've heard about this one.
Okay.
The main one I've heard about is the screw job.
Okay. So when Bret Hart loses the match, he's rubbing his eyes, got stuff in his eyes. He starts walking up the ramp, and a wrestler comes out to help him, saying, "What's going on? What's going on?" And Bret Hart tells the wrestler, "Go to the ring. Go to the ring." And all of a sudden, a match started. An impromptu match started for the WWF Championship that Yoko just won. And Yoko ended up losing that WWF Championship after winning it. Any idea who that wrestler could be?
No.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. It was the Incredible Hulk Hogan came down. Bret told him, "Go to the ring, go to the ring." He comes in. He starts beating up Yoko, gives him the boot, gives him the big leg drop. 1, 2, 3. Hulk Hogan leaves WrestleMania as your new WWF champion, which is really crazy because, like I said, this was 1993. A few months later, Hogan drops the belt. And a few months after that, he ends up in WCW. It was Hogan's last time as the WWF champion until he returned to the company years later and won the title, but it was already called WWE. That took place in 1993. A lot of people were upset, Nacho. I was loving it because I'm a Hulk Hogan fan, so I was all for it.
I should have given it away. I know you love Hulk. Oh.
So
you already mentioned him, so I kind of tuned him out of my mind that he was already in a different match.
Yeah, I thought it was great. All right, let's get into it, Nacho. We are live. We are live this Friday and Saturday from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Philadelphia Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field, a capacity crowd. It holds 69,000. The record was 77,000. I think WWE blows that out the water both nights, probably uppers in the 80,000. I hear the weather's going to be good so far, which is a good thing. So we're going to get right into it. Night number 1, Nacho. Before we get into the predictions, Nacho, what are you thinking? Night number 1. We already know the lineups of that match, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll say that for the end. Let's go ahead and go with night number 1. All right. Who's the first one on the list? Night number 1.
Night number 1. We are going to start.
Woo!
The current women's champion versus Becky Lynch.
Ooh. Hey, you know what? This being the first match, hey, if you can't go on last, you want to go on first. I think these women are going to set it off. Not many people are thinking that this could be, they could steal the night as far as performance-wise. There's only, when you're looking at night number 1, there's no other, there's the damage control match, but there's going to be too many people in that match. This match could set it off. Who you got?
Yep. This one I've been going back and forth a lot in, and I finally set my prediction in today. But I've really been jumping back and forth the whole time that this has been building. Sometime I've been more confident in Becky than I've been more confident in Rhea. What really
Okay.
kind of came in and finalized my prediction was that I this reign for Rhea has been amazing in terms of her um, promotion and the way that she carries herself, the way she's built her character. But in my opinion, her matches have not been impressive from what I've seen since she won last year, because they've built her so big and to be such a like just domination monster.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Becky doesn't beat her, who can? It's almost the way that they built Roman and Gunther.
Gotcha.
Who can actually beat this person because they win every time, and it just seems like they're on such a higher pedestal than everyone else. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if they're going to dethrone Rhea, this is the time to do it. Give Becky the title. I don't know if they need to give her the longest reign because she's had her time to shine for sure. But I think in terms of the aftermath of this match, there's more for Rhea to build herself up even more in the chase to get the title back. And then they can put Rhea in more of a spot where she can actually have matches against people and not a couple matches every now and then. Because we really have only seen her defend at pay-per-views. We haven't seen her defend on TV like we have some of the other champions. So
Yeah.
I am choosing Becky Lynch to win the title at night one.
Interesting choice. So you have Becky Lynch beating Rhea Ripley. Okay.
I think we're going to see Becky open the show and become a new champion.
Okay. I'm going to save you the hassle to have to hear me talk so much. I'm with you. I think Becky Lynch wins the match. But I will not by any means be surprised if Rhea walks out still your WWF Women's Champion. The reason being is because what when I see if Becky wins the match, I don't see Rhea doing much of everything that's going on with the Judgment Day. We're going to get into that later on. But I think there's more to it if she is the only one holding on to the title as everything else is falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if maybe Becky gets cheated out of it somehow by someone. I don't know. Possibly, or another women's wrestler.
Maybe Trish.
Maybe Trish. Maybe Charlotte decides she's gonna go to Raw and do that. I just wouldn't be surprised. But my gut instincts is telling me Becky Lynch walks out Lincoln Financial Field as your new WWE Women's Heavyweight Champion. I'm aboard with you. So we both got Becky Lynch winning the title. First match, night number 1 at WrestleMania. It's going to be a good match. Nacho is going to be a good match.
It's going to be a great match.
Yes. I like the way this has built up where they really haven't been putting their hands on each other to that point. I love what they did with Ariel Helwani on his show, how he was interviewing Becky, he was interviewing Rhea Ripley, and Becky kept calling him if he finally answers on FaceTime. And she said, "Hey, I'm right here. I'm outside. I'm coming up right now." She comes in. They have their shoving match. I absolutely love that when they take it outside the box. So night number 1, Rhea Ripley, your champion, versus Becky Lynch, the challenger for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. We both chose Becky Lynch to walk out as your champion. What's the second match on the card, Nacho?
All right. Next up, we have our WrestleMania 6-pack tag team ladder match. between we've got Awesome Truth, we've got A-Town Down Under, we've got DIY, Judgment Day, New Day, and remind me of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates' team's name?
New Catch Republic.
New Catch Republic. I want you to go first on this one, since I went first last time.
I think now's a perfect time to split these tag teams up. I think the way you do it all starts with R-Truth. I think R-Truth gets up there. They've been alluding to it. And there have been speculations and rumors and innuendos of them splitting up the titles. I think now's the time to do it. The way you do it is by R-Truth, since he's the crazy one of the bunch, have him go up there and grab one set of titles. I think that's how you split it up. Have another team grab the other set. They both won. They separated the titles. That being said, I think Awesome Truth takes one set of the titles. I think they take one set of the titles. That's your new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Mm-hmm.
For SmackDown, I think they've proven themselves. I'm going to give it to New Catch Republic. I think WWE is building up these younger guys that don't get a lot of eyes on them. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, but hold on, R-Truth and The Miz, they've been there for years. They're not new talent. You're absolutely right. But they can be title holders, or placeholders for the next champion, whether it's DIY or whether it's someone else that takes the belt off of them. They could be transitional champions. But I think, to pull this off, it's got to be them. And the storyline with R-Truth and Judgment Day, it's only fitting that R-Truth does that, gets his moment at WrestleMania. So I got R-Truth and The Miz, and I have the titles being split with the new Catch Republic winning it for the SmackDown brand. What you got?
I fully agree with you. On Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole, when he was talking about the 6-man tag match that they had on there, I think it was an 8-man tag match they had on there. He made a huge emphasis when he was talking. He said that the match will be finished once both sets of titles. He paused on both sets of titles are taken down. So I definitely think these titles are getting split. It's time to give people more of a chance to shine and to have these title reigns, because there's so many, at least men's tag teams right now. Just split them up. I don't know if they have to redo the belts, the Velcro belts they got right now.
It would be nice for a new design.
Yeah, do something. But I definitely think that Awesome Truth, that's going to be what starts it. Truth's going to be celebrating, thinking he won, and he only took half of it down. And it's I was honestly a little bit torn trying to figure out the SmackDown because there's only 2. I thought it was weird that it wasn't as 3-3 with them. I was even wondering maybe the Hardys get involved, but I don't think that the Hardys are getting involved at this point. I don't know. I think it would just be routed. I definitely think New Catch Republic, it would be cool to see them get the victory. They've had some good matches on SmackDown recently, especially formerly Butch. Pete Dunne has been performing very well before Tyler Bate came and started tag teaming with him. So I think this would be great, especially if we do have Sheamus coming back at some point, to have his former teammate a title holder. I think that would play out very well in his eyes. So
speaking of,
you go.
Speaking of Butch, did you know? Off topic. Did you know that Pete Dunne is is one of the executive producers of WWE Speed?
No, he is.
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. No pun intended. But I think that's pretty cool that he is one of the executive producers.
Yeah, good for him.
All right.
Yeah, I want to touch on what you were saying about the temporary title holders, because I know you and I have been very excited for SummerSlam because they're going to be in Cleveland this year, and that is very close to us. So we will be going.
DIY.
Yeah.
I definitely think that this is going to lead to a DIY match. Get these Cleveland guys in there. Give them a match in the dog pack.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that'll be phenomenal. To be able to see someone like Johnny Gargano, who's been so long in the business, finally get a chance to shine on one of the grandest stages of them all, being SummerSlam. And yeah, I think that would be great. So we both got Miz and Truth, New Catch Republic, as your new tag team champions for both their respected brands. What's the next match, Nacho?
Our next match is something I'm very excited for, but I kind of was confused on the actual layout they chose for it, I guess.
Okay.
We have Rey Mysterio and the new member of the LWO, Dragon Lee, taking on Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar.
Recognizable from the man that arrives on Friday night.
In a tag match. I was hoping we'd get something. I was more so hoping we would get more of a faction versus faction, even like a street brawl type match. But
yeah, I think they missed it.
Match. Yeah, I'll still take it. I'll still take a tag match.
I think this tag match is going to be amazing, though.
Oh, this could definitely be a show stealer for sure. The way that both of these teams have been performing in ring and outside. So my prediction for this match is I've picked up on WWE doing a lot of things in sets of 3, best 2 out of 3. And last year we had Rey versus Dom, and Rey took the victory. So before I even looked at what's been going on with the storyline, I automatically felt a little bit like Dom, however he was involved before this match got announced, could be the one to take the victory. I just think that the way they've been building Santos and the way that he's getting involved with the Judgment Day, and also we're getting Andrade involved in the Judgment Day, I think there's something building that the LWO is not ready for. And I think that the way that they're all schemy with the Judgment Day, Dom is all schemy. I think he's going to find a way to pull out the victory, and we're going to have our best 2 out of 3 match next year with Rey versus Dom in a solo singles match. So I see Santos and Dirty Dominic Mysterio taking the victory this year.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
I've already marked mine down, and I said the same thing. Dominic and Santos takes the victory at WrestleMania, but I have a different theory on why they're going to win at WrestleMania.
Hit me with it.
There's somebody in the LWO that walks around with an apple that I think is going to turn heel on Rey Mysterio.
Santos Escobar.
Did you see the look on his face when Rey announced the new member and he was not picking Carlito to be his tag team partner?
He didn't look that mad in my opinion. I saw a lot of people blowing it up on X. That he seemed disappointed. I was more excited that Dragon Lee was getting brought in because I've been a huge fan of Dragon Lee since over the past year that I've been watching. So I didn't notice that big of a reaction from him, but I definitely know that Carlito has been doing a lot for Rey while he's been gone in terms of performing for the LWO, keeping them together, and I definitely think that him bringing in someone new who hasn't necessarily been with the LWO could rub him the wrong way, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. So that's how I feel about that one. So we have The LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a tag match where we both chose Santos and Dirty Dom to be the winners of that match.
Now,
what's the next? Yeah.
if Carlito turns heel, do you see him going in with the Santos group, with the Judgment Day and all that stuff that's been going on, or do you see him going solo?
That's going to be very interesting to know. I do know what I do know is that he has 2 more years on his contract. What I do know is that he wants to be a producer in the NXT universe as well.
Okay.
I think Carlito has one more run in him before he takes up that role.
Okay.
So I don't know if he aligns himself with anyone in particular and tries to go solo. If you think about it, if he runs solo, there's a lot more match opportunities that he can have as opposed to being part of a faction.
Yeah.
Maybe he could be that hired hitman for a faction.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, I'm really looking forward to what Carlito is going to be doing in the next year.
I would definitely like to see him in more matches.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe his brother comes and joins him. His cousin comes and joins him soon, and they can start up Los Boricuas again, right? So what's the next match on the card? Yeah.
Speaking of brothers, our next match in this night is main event Jey Uso versus No Heat Jimmy Uso.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who have you got in this matchup?
Woo! Yeet, baby. Give me Jay all day. I think this is going to be a hard-hitting match because typically when brothers fight each other, they go all out and they make sure they hit. I think this is going to be very interesting. I think, no, man, you know what? I say Jay because he's the favorite. He's the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be a bigger storyline if Jimmy wins. Because they can continue that and they can have another match at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I also have a theory about that if Jimmy could win. Been thinking about that a lot recently. Have you noticed that one of the brothers doesn't have a match, or one of the Bloodline members doesn't have a match on the card?
Yeah, Solo.
Wonder where he's going to be. You think he could spike somebody? Maybe cost a family member a match?
And have Jimmy win. Nacho, I don't.
See, this one's tough. It seems easy at first, but the more you think about it, the harder it is to predict.
Yeah, that's really.
Do you think the Rikishi's going to be there?
If he's not on camera or part of the show, but he's definitely going to be there, whether he's on the show or not, or whether he has something to do with the match or not. His 2 sons at a WrestleMania match, oh, he's definitely there.
Yeah.
Man, I said it really quick. I said Jay. I even marked it already down on the paper. But the more I think about it, it makes it's a better story moving forward if Jimmy wins the match.
And think about something that could be happening on night 2. If they take out somebody night 1, there's less people to help somebody else out on night 2.
I'm going to say, who you got?
I'm choosing Jimmy because the more I've thought about it, although he hasn't been as dominant of a figure and as dominant of an in-ring performer, there's just so much that could happen. And honestly, Jay's built up as this character that is unstoppable. He's the main event. That's usually not in the main event, but he's still the main event. But to have Jimmy come up from as the underdog, and although it would be with some assistance, take the victory, I think that would be an amazing follow-up at SummerSlam to have the rematch. And then you can have your best 2 out of 3 at next year's WrestleMania with their dad as the special guest referee. Because that's what they said their dream match was before they had their breakup. I'm choosing as much as I love Yeet, I'm choosing no Yeet for this match. I think that's going to be a surprise for a lot of people there. That's going to be the curveball of the night.
My heart says Jay, but it just makes more sense. And the more you're talking about it, it just makes more sense if Jimmy wins. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Jimmy Uso. Final answer. I hope Jay wins.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go with Jimmy. I want Jay to win.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jimmy.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jimmy. All right, man. What's the next one?
All right. Next up, in a match that I was also kind of surprised the structure they chose for this. We have Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. To be honest, this match threw me for a loop a little bit because I was expecting more of a tag title match than a 3v3. So I want to hear your thoughts on this one before I say anything about it.
So I was hoping for the tag titles to be on the line. Obviously, we're not going to get the tag titles on the line, which is kind of a disappointment. But I think WWE is thinking, okay, we signed Jay almost a year ago. We need to get her moving.
Yeah.
We need to get her moving. Let's go ahead and put her in a match with, 5 other women. And it kind of protects Jade a little bit because she's not the main focus being in the match the whole time. She can tag in it out. So it keeps her safe. It keeps her from making any major mistakes or anything like that. If she's any green or anything like that, it keeps her away from that. Even though I know that she could put on a performance. I mean, she's been working her tail off, so I know she could do it. But it kind of puts other people around her that can carry the match. It doesn't have to fall on her.
Yeah.
That being said, I think this match is for one reason. They made this match for one reason, and that's to put Jade over. They're going to make Jade look unstoppable. Now, the question is, does Jade end up turning heel, or does she just go in there and handle business? But that's to be seen. I don't think it happens right away, but I think out of this match, I have Bianca, Jade, and Naomi coming out victorious.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, so I agree with you on the outcome. I think that this is going to be, I think it'll be a fair match. It's definitely going to show off Naomi, Bianca, and Jade more than I think it'll show off Damage Control. Just what I've seen over the past year from both of them. But I think that this could potentially lead to a feud between Bianca and Jade wanting to get the title that Io currently has. Mm-hmm. And possibly Naomi getting stuck between it because we've seen Naomi leaning more towards Bayley's side and Bianca leaning away from that. But before Charlotte got injured, Bianca's been set on wanting to get her title back. And now that Jade comes in and is this huge powerhouse that is being promoted in such a careful way, the way that they've chosen when for her to show up, I think this could be like an interesting rivalry to have going into SummerSlam, or just in general.
Yeah.
Of two of these very big and powerful women wanting to get gold for different reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think, and realistically, I think it's better if Bianca turns heel instead of Jade later on down the line.
And it would be a justified turn.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be an okay match. I'm not expecting nothing great out of this match. I'm taking it for what it is. Maybe it surpasses our expectations. I don't think it's going to be any more than maybe a 10-minute match, 10, 12 minutes, if that. I think that the leader of this match definitely is going to be Asuka. She's the ring general of this match. And I think it's gonna show up to Jade's strengths, and it's gonna hide, if she has any weaknesses, it'll hide her weaknesses. But I think Bianca, Jade, and Naomi walk out WrestleMania with a victory over Damage Control. What else do we got, brother?
Following this up, we have a match that I'm torn on how to feel about, because I know you and I both wanted to see someone else on the right side of this picture. Not saying we don't like Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. I joined into watching wrestling right when he was having his build up to taking down the Bloodline, right when he was starting to build up his reunion with Kevin Owens, and I fell in love with that storyline, and I fell in love with Sami Zayn as a character. That being said, coming into this match and the build-up that Chad Gable had, I definitely would have rather had him in this spot facing Gunther for his title.
Absolutely. That's why I'm picking Gunther to win this match.
Yep.
I have Gunther winning this match, and then I have him dropping the title at SummerSlam versus Gable. Yeah,
I fully agree with you. And as much, I still believe this is going to be an insanely good match. I think Sami is going to take a beating. I think his chest is going to be bleeding. Because Sami can sell. Sami can sell.
Yeah.
Throw anything at Sami, and he will give 150% of his sell.
Yeah.
But he also won't back down from a fight. And he won't fall down from a fight without... I don't even know where I was going with there. But Sami is someone that's super fun to watch in the ring because he doesn't break down as quickly as most people. It takes a lot to break through Sami's concentration. You can knock him down to laying on the ground, but then you'll see his head start wobbling. You'll see his head going. I don't know why he does this, but he does this, and you think something's wrong, but Sami has this adrenaline rush that is so much fun to watch. And even though I'm going into this match like 200% confident he's not going to win, I'm still excited to see what he's going to produce. It's still going to be a great match from both teams.
How would you feel? How would you feel if Sami doesn't get pinned, he doesn't tap, but the beating is so bad, it gets to the point that it's so bad that Gable comes in and throws in a towel for him?
I don't know if he needs to throw in the towel, but I could see Gable coming in and at least being there when the match ends, if not yelling from the outside saying, "Ref, you need to call this." Or something.
Maybe it'll be one of those stipulations where they call the match, because I'm not saying that Sami's going to go in there and get, squashed.
Mm-hmm.
But it can get to the point where Sammy just takes a beating so bad after he's given a valiant effort that they have to just stop the match. But then that on the flip side, that makes Sammy look. Where do you go from there? Because Sammy doesn't get his comeback. Because then we're thinking Gable wins the title, so Sammy's left. Yeah, I don't know.
This is what I'm thinking.
I think this is going to be an interesting moving forward. But I think Gunther wins the match for sure. That's how I feel. I think Gunther wins.
I think Gunther wins, and I'm thinking that the reception they got for Raw after Mania last year was so bad that they're going to come with some powerful punches this year. And I'm thinking Chad Gable challenges Gunther to a rematch, not for his title, but he challenges him to a rematch, 1-on-1, no title shot. But if he can pin him in that match, he gets another shot.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
SummerSlam, because he's Sammy's coach right now essentially. And if he sees his player, I guess you could say, or whatever, get beaten down, he wants revenge for that person, and that's another person that Chad will want revenge for. He wants revenge for his daughter, and now he wants revenge for Sammy. Add to the list. And you'll have Sammy in his corner when the time comes. I don't know where Sammy goes after this. Maybe back towards Seth, or we'll get into that. But yeah, I definitely don't see Sammy at all coming out on top at this match.
So we both got Gunther coming out, still your Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And that leaves us to the main event of night number 1. The Bloodline, the final boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, versus Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and Seth freaking Rollins, your World Heavyweight Champion. If Rhodes and Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the undisputed WWE Universal Championship on night number 2. But if The Rock and Roman win, the championship match on night number 2 will be held under Bloodline rules. So this is a match that has a stipulation. You win, Cody, you win, we out. But if you lose, we do everything we want to do to make sure you're not walking out of WrestleMania as the new undisputed Universal Champion. Nacho, this is big.
Yep, I want to break this into 3 parts. We're going to do this together in 3 parts.
Let's go. Let's do it.
To start, which side wins? Are we getting all-out Bloodline in night 2? Or are we playing it safe? Clean fight, Cody versus Roman.
I say night 1, Rock and Roman wins.
I agree with you. Part 2.
What's part 2?
Who takes the pin? Who pins who?
I think Roman pins Cody.
Okay.
No. See, I think Cody's Teflon.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roman pins Cody.
Okay. Are you locking that in?
I'm locking it in.
All right. You ready for my answer?
Yeah.
I say The Rock pins Cody.
Whoa, wait. Time out. I said that without thinking about night number 2.
I'm thinking about night number 2,
Thinking,
and I'm thinking about after
you see,
night number 2.
because you were saying, because you said, let's take this in 3 parts, I'm completely not even thinking of night number 2. So I think night number 1, yes, The Rock pins Cody. Absolutely. Because it sets up night number 2 and SummerSlam. Okay. That's my final answer. Yes, I agree. Roman
Right, go.
Rock pins Cody. Yes.
Yep. And we're gonna go into. I'll share my my thought process behind that in the
Hit me.
Match.
Let's do it.
I'll hit you with that in another match. But part 3 is just a little guess for what's leading into the next match. Do we think Seth tweaks something, gets injured somehow? Something goes wrong for Seth leading into his next match with how Drew's been telling him to get out of the Bloodline business because he wants him fully focused and fully 100% for their match? Do we think something goes wrong and Seth doesn't go into his night 2 match at 100%?
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. It gives Drew. I'll have to talk about that when we do night number 2 in a second. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I think Cody tweaks something coming out of this match that affects him going into the next match.
Okay.
So that's it. We got that done, right?
Yep. We're
okay. So I'm going to run down through them one more time. You ready? Night number 1, April 6th, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Lincoln Financial Field. WWE WrestleMania XL, WrestleMania 40. Night number 1, we have your champion, WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus her challenger, Becky Lynch. We both said Becky Lynch comes out as your new Women's World Champion. After that, we got the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, your champions, versus DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth, versus Kofi, the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, versus A-Town, Down Under, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, versus New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, in a 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed tag team champions. We both said this is the perfect time to split the titles. The Miz and R-Truth take one title, the New Catch Republic take the other title. We finally get what everybody wants, two different tag teams as champions on their brands. So that's what we got on that. The one after that, we got Jay Uso versus Jimmy Uso. This was one that we debated back and forth to the point that you made me change my mind. I had originally picked Jay Uso, but after the way you broke everything down so beautifully, my tag team partner, we both agreed that Jimmy Uso comes out of this match as the winner to set up a better storyline for the two moving on forward. After that, we have the Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio and the newest member, Dragon Lee, versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a tag team match. And we both said Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom win this match. Set something up later on for Dirty Dom versus his dad, Rey Mysterio. After that, we had Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane in a 6-women tag match. And we both agree very easily that this match, the winners will be Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. And then we have the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther versus Sami Zayn in a hard-hitting match. But we both agree that Gunther retains his WWE Intercontinental Championship and walks out of WrestleMania with his title still in hand. Then the main event of the evening, the Bloodline, the Final Boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins in a tag match. Once again, the stipulations is, if Rhodes and Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match on night number 2. If Rock and Roman win, the championship match on night number 2 will be held under Bloodline rules. Very, very love the way you broke it down in 3 different sections, which we both thought The Rock and Roman win night number 1, with The Rock being the one to defeat and pin Cody Rhodes. And coming out of that match, Seth Rollins has an injury after Drew McIntyre has been saying, get out of their business because I want you at 100%, and he doesn't get Seth Rollins at 100%. That takes us into night number 2, which is April 7th. 2024, of course, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania again, with a sellout crowd. I'm sure it's going to be packed, and everybody's going to be excited for this. And shooting right out the back, the first match on night number 2, your World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins versus the man that everybody's been waiting for him to have his moment in front of a live crowd. Drew McIntyre. Drew. Here we go, Nacho. I want you to shoot it. Who you got?
I think this match, regardless of Seth Rollins' injury, if he gets injured or not, because we've seen how he can sell with an injury. I think this match is going to be an amazing opener, just like we thought with night 1 with the women's match. I think this is going to be an amazing open to night 2. And I think that Drew McIntyre is going to get his chance and his moment to shine with the live crowd finally, after he won his first title shot in the pandemic era and basically just screams. I think this is Drew's moment where he gets his moment in front of a live audience, a live arena, a live stadium. And I think he just gets to enjoy his victory. I think this will be an amazing match for both men. I think this will be an amazing moment for Seth to take a vacation or get surgery if he needs to. But I think this is Drew's time.
So I agree with you 110%. I think Drew McIntyre takes this title. I think Seth rides off into the sunset for a little while. But there's something that we forgot to mention, and it's a certain somebody that's going to be at ringside commentary. That's CM Punk. I believe that when this is all said and done, CM Punk might hit the GTS off of a Drew McIntyre and shock everybody and say, hey, I'm ready to come back. He's been saying that it's been healing a lot better since the one that he got injured in AEW, that this one's healing better. He was on the Ariel Helwani show. I don't know if you've seen that interview. An amazing interview. I recommend anybody to go watch that Ariel Helwani video with CM Punk that came out a few days ago. So, yes, I think Drew McIntyre goes in. And I'm going to disagree with something, though. You said it's going to be an amazing match. I don't doubt that. But I would not be upset if Drew finishes him quickly because of the injury that Seth comes in.
Okay.
I think if Drew finishes him very quickly, almost like what Seth Rollins did with Brock Lesnar a few years back, I think if Drew comes in, finishes him off real quickly, it kind of protects Rollins, where people say, hey, man, but he got beat up really bad and got hurt. He was coming into Mania hurt. Did Drew really beat him? And then Drew could always use that. Oh, you guys don't think, that I actually won because he was hurt. I told him not to go in that match. I was the one, he'll have all those arguments to his benefit. To his benefit, nonetheless. But yes, I'm with you 110%. Drew McIntyre becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania night number 2. What's the next match on the card?
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Which I thought you were going to mention it when you said there was one person we hadn't talked about.
Santos Escobar.
We have a senior Money in the Bank who's been desperately trying to cash in on Seth freaking Rollins since he won it.
You know what? You're absolutely right. We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Do you think this is going to happen at Mania? Or do you think this could be something that happens at Raw after Mania? Or do you think this still isn't the time and it's going to happen down the line?
Let me ask you something. Let's play scenarios. Let's just throw it out there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins is getting fired up, right? He's coming in. He's about to do his curve stomp, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's about to do his curve stomp. Drew is slowly getting up. Senor Money in the Bank. Damian Priest music hits. Seth turns around. He comes running down the ramp. Gets around the corner. I want to cash in. I want to cash in. Does CM Punk say, not like this? Grabs Damian Priest. Go to sleep. Seth sees that. Turns around. Drew McIntyre with a Glasgow kiss or something and becomes your new champion. Could that happen?
It's possible. I have a scenario.
Tell me.
Picture this. We've seen tension with the Judgment Day and Drew, especially Rhea. We've seen tension between Rhea and Drew. Or Rhea and Damian. Now we predicted that Rhea's going to come out on top night 1.
Huh? No.
Judgment Day will not come out on top night 1. They will lose their titles. So Rhea will be the only Judgment Day member with the title. Damian has been this person backstage trying to become the leader of Judgment Day. He keeps saying that he's the leader. And we've seen the outcome of that countless times where they're saying, okay, prove it. And he has not been successful in cashing in. So picture him cashing in, whether it be a 3-person match at this point, or just him and Seth, or just him and Drew. But picture him getting in the ring, and who grabs his feet? But either Finn Balor or Dirty Dom Mysterio. And they kick him out of the Judgment Day.
I like it.
Like that?
I like it.
You could pull Drew in because you had Drew meeting with Rhea. Or you could have Drew be someone who assists if he doesn't even join, but he assists. Because Drew has been meeting with Rhea backstage. He also met with Paul Heyman recently. I feel like that could be something that happens. You have this moment where we've been building to this moment where Damian gets to cash in and his group turns their back on him.
I think a babyface Damian will get over more cashing in than a heel Damian.
Yeah.
It keeps Seth and CM Punk away from the title for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting the way this plays out.
It is.
Either way it goes, yes, I agree with you. Damian Priest shows up in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he steals a victory, I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But I do agree Drew McIntyre is your new champion. What's the next match?
Next up, we have a 6-man Philadelphia street match between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits and Karrion Kross and his group, the Authors of Pain, right?
Yep. The Final Testament.
Final Testament. I'm just gonna be up front. Kind of the way we were with the women's match. I don't think this is gonna be a long match. Personally, the team that I'm more attached to is the Street Profits and Bobby, just because I've been more exposed to them. We really haven't been exposed to either of these teams that much in terms of build up to this match with a storyline. So I'm just gonna give this one to Bobby and the Street Profits because that just seems more likely, I guess, out of the unlikely of that this match really is for me. So yeah.
This is very interesting because night number one, we agreed on everything, and this is the first disagreement that we have. I think that because the Final Testament is a new faction, they got to keep them strong. They got to keep them strong. And I think the Final Testament not only wins this match, they need to win this match, in my opinion. If the Final Testament drops this match, then the faction doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much. But if you want to keep this going, making it the Final Testament strong, you got to have them win, man. You got to have them win. What are they called now? The Pride or something like that? Bobby Lashley's group, Pride. You know, I think the Final Testament has to win this match. In my opinion, I think the Final Testament wins this match. And I think it's due to maybe somebody showing up. I don't know. Can a Bo Dallas show up for a Final Testament? I could see Bo joining this faction.
Yeah.
Especially after the documentary of Bray, which we're going to do probably a separate video on that, because there's a lot of things we can get into there. But I think the Final Testament wins this. You think Pride wins this? I think Final Testament wins this. But regardless, I don't think it's going to be a long match. But I do think they should make a statement. Both teams, they should make a statement of doing something. Hey, man, at least they got on Mania card, you know?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, this match would have been on the pre-show. So it tells you at least they've moved the needle somewhat to be put on a show, especially if this match goes in the order that is showed on Wikipedia. This is the pre-main event. If it goes in the order that they have it. And if it is, that's meaning something. I do know Triple H has always been high on Karrion Kross. He's always been high on the APA. I think they take this on night number 2. What else you got, man? What's the next one?
Next up, we have LA Knight. Yeah. Versus AJ Styles.
The phenomenal one.
Definitely not a match that I definitely not a matchup that I had predicted. I more so thought that LA Knight was going to be paired up with Logan Paul, which he still
Uh-huh.
could possibly at a pay per view coming up down the line. But yeah, I'm still excited for this matchup. We've got their
Absolutely.
recent brawl at AJ's house in the front yard was pretty fun. I liked that. I kind of wish we could have gotten something else after that. Maybe we still could on Friday, tomorrow. But I think for this match, I am going to stick with LA Knight. I think that, although I don't think that he lost all of the momentum he had with the crowd, I definitely think coming out of his feud with Roman, he lost a little bit of that build up that he had. Don't get me wrong, he still gets a loud pop. And I think that his entrance at Mania is going to be insane, especially maybe to get Usher to perform. But yeah, I think I got to give it to LA Knight, especially if there is the possibility of him having a title run coming up. Why not pair him against one of the best wrestlers on the planet and give him the victory over him? Like, what more could you ask for when trying to fuel that fire?
Well, second one in the row.
Really?
You had very good, compelling arguments. I think AJ wins this match. I think LA Knight is one of those guys that I still think he's Teflon. That no matter what he does, the crowd is always going to react to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a way he can lose this match and still hold on to, hey, you didn't win that cleanly. I just have a feeling, AJ coming out supposedly with new music, a different attitude. I think it just suits him better to win this match. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's because I'm an AJ fan. I'm not saying I'm not an LA Knight fan. I am an LA Knight fan. I just think AJ comes out of this match winning. I wish I can go deeper and tell you because of X, Y, and Z. I just think AJ wins this match.
Yep.
All right, man. What else we got?
All right. Next up, we have triple threat for the United States Championship between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. Let me tell you, I'll still have you give your outcome before, but my outcome changed today. I was pretty set on who I wanted the entire time this match was building up. But until today, when I put some things together, my outcome changed. But I want to hear what you have to say before I put that out there.
Ay, ay, ay. I would like to see Randy win the title. I really do. I think Kevin Owens should win. But I got this gut feeling that Logan Paul's coming out champion. So I'm stuck because I would like to see. I don't think Randy has ever held the United States title.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's ever held it. You know what? Let's look that up. Because give me 1 second here. I just want to check real quick.
Kevin Owens has had it a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of wish that Logan would lose it back to Rey Mysterio. That would be fun, in my opinion.
He has held the United States title. And I don't know why. He did. He has held the United States title.
Just one time? Just one time?
Just one time.
Okay.
I really think I hate to say this, man. I think Logan's gonna come out victorious. I don't even want to say that.
I know it's gross, right?
It is. And he's from Cleveland.
It hurts coming out. You want me to drop my reasoning?
He's from Cleveland, and I can't believe he'll be going into SummerSlam as your United States champion. What do you got?
That's one of my reasons. You have Cleveland coming up.
Cleveland.
Why wouldn't you get
it all falls into Cleveland?
But also, fairly recently, WWE made a partnership with Netflix.
Prime. Okay.
They also made a partnership with Netflix. And Netflix has an upcoming fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yep.
And you best bet the WWE is going to want Logan Paul
holding that title
and possibly getting in from the rumors that I've heard of this match. He's allowed to tag in. So they would have Logan Paul tagging in, holding the United States Championship, fighting Mike Tyson on the brand that they're about to be streaming on in a couple of years. Let alone, I didn't even think about that. This entire WrestleMania, the ring is going to have a giant Prime bottle in the center. Those are three reasons that solidified, as much as it pains me to say and makes me feel like I'm going to get sick from saying, that Logan's going to win at this pay-per-view. But, and I've said this before, Logan can perform in the ring. As much as he can perform.
Yeah.
And if he comes out and performs, and if he wins fair and square, I would be okay. I'd be at least more okay than if he has a good match. And then all of a sudden, at the last second, even though he seems like he's able to pin, he just feels the need to bring in Brass Knuckles to be the cheapskate villain, bad guy, and then wins that way. Because when he fought Ricochet, I don't remember what pay-per-view that was recently, but when he fought Ricochet, that was a good match. And if he hadn't used the Brass Knuckles in one, I would have been completely fine with it. Because I was enjoying the match as much as I hate Logan Paul. I was having fun with it from both sides. And when he brought out the Brass Knuckles, that ruined it for me because then it just took me out of it. So if he can have a good match with these two amazing wrestlers and not feel the need to cheat the whole time, I'll at least be more okay with it than if he cheats. I would also very much appreciate if they bring KSI back in the Prime bottle and somehow he gets hit. That's all I'm going to say.
So I'm going to bring the microphone very close to me. And I want my words to be as clear as possible. If we are having Logan Paul come out of WrestleMania, is that Logan Paul? The noise that made was so fun. I hope that audio picked up that. If we have Logan Paul coming out of WrestleMania as the United States champion still, I want to see a match where the whole 10-15 minutes of the match is Logan Paul getting his tail beat.
Yeah.
He's getting beat.
The first half of the match.
And then Randy Orton hit the RKO on the Kevin Owens. And when he goes to cover, Logan Paul punches Randy Orton with the brass knucks Logan Paul gets on and gets the victory. And if that happens, it hurts me in a sense where I don't want to see him as champion. He's a good wrestler, though. I'm not knocking the guy. He's talented. He's really good. But two things happen after that. Number one, I hope Tyson takes care of business. I know it's an exhibition match. I know supposedly I've heard that he's not supposed to throw to knock anyone out, which I think is ridiculous. But I hope Tyson handles business, whether it's with Jake or Logan, the tag, whatever. But the title has to come off of Logan Paul in Cleveland. It has to. And give it to LA Knight at that moment.
Yeah. Yep, LA Knight.
Give it to LA Knight at that moment at SummerSlam in Cleveland, Ohio. I don't even want to talk about this match anymore. I'm getting upset. Let's go to the next one.
All right, our second to last match of the night. We have Io Sky.
Woo!
Raw Women's Champion, right? It's Raw Women's Champion?
Yep. No, SmackDown Women's Champion.
Oh, I thought they were mixed up on different things.
Hold on.
Yeah. I thought Rhea had the SmackDown.
I don't.
She's a women's champion.
Yeah, she's a women's champion.
Who do you have for this?
You know what? I don't want to say mine first. I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay.
What do you got?
So before I say my prediction, I will say both of these females, although Bayley has been featured more so recently, both of these women have been off the air a lot recently. The past couple of weeks, aside from a backstage promo where Bayley attacked Io, and I guess you could say when they're walking in the back with their suitcases every episode, we haven't seen either of them do a promo. There's not been that much of a build up to this match between the two of them since
there hasn't
since the Rumble, since they turned on her. So it seems a bit underdeveloped, you could say. There was a lot coming in when they first turned on Bayley. And then there was just this drop-off where she just wasn't there. But I still think this is Bayley's moment. She's done a lot for the company. She's done a lot to build up the women of Damage Control. And I think this is her moment to get a title run and to help other people build themselves up while still getting her moment to shine. I definitely Io Sky is still going to be there, and Io Sky is still going to deliver amazing matches. But I think it's time to give Bayley her moment, and I'm not sure what will come from Damage Control after that. Especially with them losing the match. But that's definitely the way that I've been leaning a majority of the time, that Bayley will be the one to take the victory on this.
So, this is the co-main event of the evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, without giving our predictions for the main event, you're telling me that you're going to get 2 title changes back to back.
Yep. It seems weird.
That's tough.
It seems tough, especially because the opener was also a title change.
Because typically you have a drop to bring the crowd back up.
Yep.
That's why I think it's important for McIntyre to make it a quick match where people don't think much of it. I understand what you're saying with the build, but I think it's because Bayley comes out with the Bayley buddies again. I think she comes out to her old gimmick. The hug, baby. But I have to tell you, my friend, night number 1, we were so in sync.
This is going to make for more interesting then.
And night number 2, we just been off. But I agree with you. I think Bayley wins. I think it's her moment. And me saying that makes me want to say that she does not win because there's too many titles being changed.
Yeah, but this is the year of finishing your story. This is the year of
and that's you took the words right out of my mouth. But it's the WrestleMania to finish your story. So yes, we've been going at this for about 1 hour and 21 minutes. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. You're absolutely right. Bayley comes out as your new women's champion. Now, that being said, this is the match that we've all been waiting for over a year. The main event of night number 2 is the Tribal Chief, your undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, the finishing the story, the white meat babyface, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed Universal Championship, night number 2. This is the moment we've been waiting for. If it goes the way we've been thinking, that actually means it's under bloodline rules, which means everybody's going to be trying to get involved. Everyone's going to be trying to get rid of Cody and stop him from winning the title. Everybody's going to get involved. Every bloodline member. We might see new members show up. We might see wrestlers entering. We might see a Jacob Fatu, a Zulu Fatu. We might even see an MJF. We could see a John Cena. We could see a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or we can even see a Beast Incarnate in Brock Lesnar.
Or Dustin Rhodes.
But all that will be put to the side as long as no one lays a finger on the Tribal Chief. Because I believe Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads and finishes the story and becomes the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, the undisputed Universal Champion. I think he beats Roman Reigns. Later on, the bloodline goes into crazy because Rock tells Roman, I beat him and you couldn't beat him. I'm the man.
Yep.
Now we got Cody and The Rock in Cleveland, Ohio at SummerSlam, where me and Nacho will be holding up signs. Cody, Cody, Cody. We're Cody Crybabies. But you damn right we're Cody Crybabies. Cody becomes your new Universal Champion at night number 2 at WrestleMania. That's all I got. Nacho, that's all I got. You tell me. You tell me.
I fully agree with you. This is what I was wanting. This is the way I felt last year. And coming out of WrestleMania last year, I thought there's no way that you can build back up to this match. There's no way you can get back up to the hype that we had going into WrestleMania last year. There's no way that Cody can, like, what does Cody even do now? And we're here. It's happening.
We're here, baby.
The hype is back, if not even bigger. thanks to a couple extra people that joined the storyline. But if not now, then when?
When?
There's not going to be a better time.
No.
The storyline, the Bloodline storyline, peaked at WrestleMania last year and dropped, and it got stale. It got stale for a long time last year. We lost Sammy and Kevin to other storylines. Roman wasn't showing up. Cody was teaming with Jey Uso. Jey left the company for a weekend. We're back up. The storyline is building.
Cody kept climbing up there. Cody was still up there. The bloodline was dropping, and Cody stayed up there. Brock Lesnar, he kept up there.
God, just wait, and he's back. He's back to his moment. He's back to possibly finishing the story. And let me tell you, to see him there, to see him finish his story, to see him there with his mom, with his wife, with his kid, hopefully with his brother. I'd like to see his brother there. To see him get to finish his story, to see him complete the story that his father didn't get to complete in front of Roman's family will be just an amazing way to end this amazing WrestleMania and an amazing way to start this new era of the WWE. What more of a beautiful picture could you paint?
The era of the nightmare.
And that's exactly what you said. What I said I was going to bring up later on. We're thinking the same way. That is going to fuel The Rock to go after Roman, because The Rock was able to pin Cody on night one. But the person that he acknowledged, his tribal chief, wasn't able to pin Cody on night two with the help of all the bloodline. And he's supposed to be their tribal chief. That's not going to sit well for The Rock. Cody's going to get his moment. Cody's going to finish his story. He's going to be the new face of the company. And Roman's going to have to run with his tail tucked between his legs out of there before the bull puts his horns through him. And I'm thinking that's something Raw after Mania that we're going to get either The Rock with Cody or we're going to get The Rock with Roman.
So, we have both said it. The story is completed at WrestleMania night number 2. Let's give the rundown. Night number 2, we have your champion, Seth freaking Rollins, starting it off. The World Heavyweight Championship match against Drew McIntyre. You and I both picked Drew McIntyre to win. Then we had, let's just go right down it was. We had the Bobby Lashley and Pride with Dawkins and Montez Ford and B-Fab against the Final Testament. You chose Pride. I chose the Final Testament. Then we had LA Knight versus AJ Styles. You said LA Knight.
Yeah.
I said AJ Styles. Then we both chose Logan Paul to win against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Then we both have Bayley winning it against Io Sky and Bayley becoming your new women's champion. And then we have the main event. We have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, finally finishing his story, taking on the tribal chief and beating Roman Reigns to become your new Universal Champion at WrestleMania night number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be packed. April 6th and 7th from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know about you guys, but I am super ecstatic for these nights. Hey, remember, we're going live after night number 1. We're going live after night number 2. We've given our predictions. We've done everything. We've said it all. We've said all the videos. We gave our arguments. We are ready for WrestleMania. It's here. It's already coming. It starts off tomorrow on SmackDown, and get ready for the weekend. So, if you haven't already, man, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Click on that notification bell. Make sure you stay up to date with everything we're doing. We're going to have a great time. We're excited. We're locked in. Hey, Nacho, what else you got, baby?
Really quick, I just want to throw out some of my surprise predictions. Just some little things we could see here and there. Some things I was thinking about. You already kind of touched on the first one. I think we're going to see Uncle Howdy. I don't think we need to see him in a match.
Wow, it'd be nice.
But after that Bray Wyatt documentary, which we'll talk about later on in another video, the little tease we got at the end, I think he's coming back. And what better way to reintroduce him than just to give him a little teaser, a little snippet at WrestleMania. Next. This is something that's just for me personally, because we've seen a lot of musical guests. These next 2 people are musical guests, but we've seen a lot of musical guests showing up backstage and on promos that could be performing at WrestleMania. Personally, one of my favorite musical guests that have showed up on an episode of Raw and even helped out Randy Orton when he was fighting the Judgment Day is my guy, Jelly Roll. Okay,
Jelly Roll.
I want to see Jelly Roll there. Jelly Roll was at the Rumble. He was at the little media scrub before the show started, the little pre-show. So let's see Jelly Roll. I don't even know where he would show up. Maybe he's at the pre-show again. Give me more Jelly Roll. He's a fan. He loves Randy. Maybe he helps the Randy out. Maybe he's the one that takes the brass knuckles away in the Randy match. I don't know. And then thirdly, someone who I'm a huge fan of. I know my brother's a huge fan of. My family's a huge fan of. Post Malone. He made the soundtrack for the video game, and we haven't seen him show up. As far as I know, we haven't seen him show up at all on any episode.
No.
So I think just give him a little moment. Maybe he can perform a song. Maybe he could perform someone's intro. Maybe he could just walk out. We still don't even have a host for this year's Mania, as far as I know. We had The Miz last year. So, I don't know. Maybe he could do something with whoever ends up hosting. So, those are my predictions for just a couple little celebrity guests that we could have show up. Just a little here and there. Just a little fun. So.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. Give me a little bit of Dusty Rhodes mixed with Cody. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Regardless of what happens at WrestleMania, one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting 2 days. An exciting 2 days. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, click on that notification bell, because we got a lot more videos coming forward with these next few days. So make sure that after WrestleMania night number 1, I don't care what time it is, you grab your cup of coffee and you come right here to the Curtain Call podcast with your boys in Spanish Fly and Nacho. We are going to be giving every review and prediction and go down the card, and we're going to dissect it, chew it up, eat it, and spit it out, and get ready for night number 2. So if you don't have anything else, Nacho, you good? I'm good. I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We are ready to go with WrestleMania. So for my tag team partner, Nacho, I'm your boy, the Spanish Fly. If you got it, throw it up too sweet, me baby. And remember that here at the Curtain Call Podcast, we always kick out at 2. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Let's go, Nacho. Wrap it.